at school, there's a couple people I was like debating with about whether you should get 8 hours of sleep or not. And we had a very horrible argument. We went through like all the loopholes, the hypotheticals, but look at this grandma. She lived to 102 and she never slept at all. We went through all of these random things, okay? And the truth is people won't accept your point of view. They just won't. If it's not aligned to their beliefs, they won't accept it. 99% of arguments never end up actually convincing the other person to go to your belief. So why are you arguing? You're doing it for fun. You're doing it just for the dopamine. You're doing it because it's the only way you know how to socialize, basically. I mean, I'm guilty of this too. Like, what else do you talk about? Let's argue, you know? And the truth is, people don't like it when you're just the guy who argues all the time. When you're the guy who they know whenever they're going to talk to you, you're going to bring up some point that's going to correct them. You're going to argue, you know? You're just going to bring up negative energy into the conversation. No one wants to associate themselves with someone who is related to negative energy. Like, for example, I know this guy, I gave him a bag of M&Ms. I said, there's 5 M&Ms left in the bag. You can eat the rest. There were actually 4 M&Ms. He opened the bag. He said, Forrest, there's 4 M&Ms in here, actually. He does this in every conversation, and I just don't like him anymore. We're not friends anymore. It's repulsive because he's just constantly correcting little things, okay? Do you do this? Seriously, because I'm guilty of this too. I do this to some people. Imagine how good it would be for your family if you stopped arguing all the time. Imagine that. Imagine how happier they would be, how much calm and less stressful it would be that you stopped arguing over little pointless things to your family. That would be a great gift to give to your family, right? You could do that. You don't need to buy them anything. You don't need to, okay, you should, but like for their birthdays and stuff, but you could just give them the gift of positivity, of being, you know, a good person and not arguing over little things, you know? From now on, whenever you get that temptation to argue, when you notice someone did something wrong, ask yourself, do I really care this much? That one sentence, do I really care this much to interrupt the flow of our conversation? Do I really care enough to bring this negative energy into this environment? Do I really care? Do I really think it's worth it? And then you're going to say, yeah, no, it's not. Most of the time, it's not going to be worth it unless, like, they're just doing something really wrong. But most of the times, it's just like, oh, you tied your shoelaces wrong. Like, come on. And you'll find that once you stop arguing so much, once you stop criticizing so much, once you stop emitting total negative energy, people are going to want to start associating with you more. Because why wouldn't they? Tell me, do you want to associate with the guy who is, you know, happy all the time? He makes the environment feel like a good mood, or the guy who's just always talking about something wrong with the government, something wrong with the plastics in the ocean or something? Which one would you rather be with? The guy who victimizes, or the guy who, you know, does the opposite of victimizing? I don't know what that is. I don't know what that word is. I'm glad someone here isn't here to tell me and argue with me about that. My name is Forrest Faisal. Think big. And look at this view. Look at this view. It's a nice view.